Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahato samma sambuddhassa. Pay homage to the Blessed One. Dear friends, today September 19, 2023 at Brahmavihara Meditation Center. So I like to deliver Dhamma talk from Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 20, Vitakka Santana Sutta. So Vitakka means distracting thought and Santana means removal. So the removal of distracting thoughts. So when distracting thought will arise in your mind, so how will you remove it? So that one is what the Buddha is talking about here. So you will see how did he explain. There are 5 senses he mentioned here. How do you remove the distracting thought? But among the 5, the one I am not going to explain, the last one, because that one, why I am not going to explain, then I will explain later, okay? So especially before the end of the retreat, some meditators, because they were thinking, okay, I practice meditation here about 10 days, tomorrow I'll go back, and they're thinking about families, about the work, about our studies, about our activities. So they always think, so their mind becomes so distracted, So that's why I decided to teach this sutta tonight. Sutta number 20, Vitakka Santana Sutta, the removal of distracting thoughts. So these suttas the Buddha delivered to the monks. You see, most of the sutta Buddha delivered to the monks, because there were many monks who got ordinations and they listened talk from the Buddha, from the Blessed One. So every night he gave the talk, one talk, and tomorrow another talk, and next day another talk. So then those monks also ask the questions, and they learn a lot of things, and they practice meditations, when talk finish. So let me read this sutta first, and then I'll give some comment, okay? Thus I heard on one occasion the Blessed One was living at Savatthi Jeta's group, another Pintikas park. So this is the place where the Blessed One gave the Dhamma talk to the monks. So there he addressed the bhikkhus thus. Bhikkhus means what? Monks. So when one bhikkhu is the one monk, when is the bhikkhus, monks. But bhikkhus, venerable sir, they replied. The Blessed One said this, because when a bhikkhu is pursuing the higher mind, so pursuing the higher mind means so here pursuing the higher mind, it means that, when you meditate, then you'll see your mind is distracted. So as I mentioned, when higher mind, you can see the dependent originations, you can understand it, and then how distracting thought arises in your mind, you know it. So from time to time, you should give attention to the 5 senses. So when distracting thought arises in your mind, then you have to pay attention. Is it distracting thought or wholesome thought? So whenever distracting thought will arise in your mind, you have to think wholesome. If distracting thought is unwholesome, right? Yes or no? Distracting thought is unwholesome. Yeah. So when distracting thought arises in your mind, then you have to think the wholesome thought. So he's going to talk about here. So here's the pursuing the higher mind. From time to time, he should give attention to 5 signs. So what are the 5? The number 1. Here bhikkhus, when a bhikkhu is giving attention to some sign and owing to that sign, there arise in him evil and unwholesome thoughts connected with desire, with hate, and with delusion. So desire you know, hate you know, and delusion also you know that, right? It's become clear, right? The one who doesn't understand the Four Noble Truths. Then he should give attention to some higher, some other sign connected with what is wholesome. So what you have to do? You have to think the wholesome. So if you pay attention to the wholesome, then the unwholesome thought will disappear from your mind. When he gives the attention to some other sign connected with what is wholesome, then any evil, unwholesome thoughts connected with desire, with hate, and with delusion are abandoned in him and subside. You understand? Yeah. So with the abandoning of them, his mind becomes steadied. Steady means firm, internally quiet, brought to singleness and collectedness. Okay, now he's going to give a simile. We call him Pali Upama. So simile, just as a skilled carpenter might knock out, remove. Okay, just as a skilled carpenter or his apprentice might knock out, remove, and extract a coarse peck by means of a fine one, so too when a bhikkhu gives attention to some other sign connected with what is wholesome, his mind becomes steadied internally, quiet, brought to singleness and collectedness. So that means if any hindrances arise and your mind becomes distracted, so you have to think immediately wholesome. So within few minutes or a few seconds, the wholesome thought will arise, the negative thought will disappear from your mind. So your mind will be firm, your mind will be still, quiet. So the second sign, so this is the first sign, okay? Now he's going to talk about the second sign. If while he is giving attention to some other sign connected with what is wholesome, there is still arise in him evil, unwholesome thoughts connected with desire, with hate, with delusion, then you should examine the danger in those thoughts thus. Those thoughts are unwholesome. They are reprehensible. So reprehensible is sinful. Okay? And their result is suffering. So one who understands the hindrances very well, so if any hindrances thought arise in your mind, they'll think this is not good for me because I am practitioner, I am meditator. So I have, even though the wholesome thought arise, but sometimes unwholesome thought also arise. So that way you have to understand this is danger for me. And then if I continuously think about it, so I have to suffer for that, right? So that's why the Buddha is talking about here. When he examined the danger in those thoughts, then any evil, unwholesome thoughts connected with desire, with hate, and with delusion are abandoned in him and subside. So if you can abandon, then the hindrances will not make you problem. With the abandoning of them, his mind becomes steady internally, quiet, brought to singleness and collectedness. Okay? Now he's going to give them another simile. Just as a man or a woman, young, youthful, fond of ornaments, would be horrified, humiliated and disgusted if the carcass of a snake or a dog understand the simile? Right? If you in the neck, if you put something, the skeletons or the meat or in your neck. So too, when a bhikkhu examines the danger in those thoughts, his mind becomes steadied internally, quiet, brought to singleness and collectedness, because he has wisdom. So he know about it. This make me suffering. So what I have to do? I have to do not allow. I have to use the harmonious practice, and I have to think the wholesome things. I have to abandon them by using the whole harmonious practice. So now you got how many signs? 2. So number 3. If while he is examining the danger in those thoughts, there still arise in him evil and unwholesome thoughts, connected to desire with hate and with delusion, then he should try to forget those thoughts and should not give attention to them. When he tries to forget those thoughts and does not give attention to them, then any evil and unwholesome thoughts connected with desire, with hate, with delusion are abandoned in him and subside. So you see, if any distracting thought arises in your mind, you have to abandon them. You have to think all the time wholesome and use the harmonious practice, then you can abandon it very quickly, right? So with the abandoning of them, his mind becomes steadied internally, quiet, brought to singleness and collectedness. Your mind become very calm. And now he is going to give another simile. Just as a man with the good eyes, who did not want to see forms that had come within range of sight, would either shut his eyes or look away. So too, when a bhikkhu tries to forget those thoughts and does not give attention to them, his mind becomes steady internally, quiet, brought to singleness and collectedness. Is it clear? Right? So the same things he is tried to hear first time, second time, and third time. The Blessed One said, if you understand only one, and the next one will be more easier, and then if you understand second one and third one will be much clearer, right? So now the number 4. If while he is trying to forget those thoughts and is not giving attention to them, there still arise in him evil and unwholesome thoughts connected with desire, connected with hate, and connected with delusion, then he should give attention to stilling the thought formation of those thoughts. When he gives attention to stilling the thought formation of those thoughts, then any evil and unwholesome thoughts connected with desire, with hate, and with delusion are abandoned in him and subside. So with the abandoning of them, his mind becomes steady internally, quiet, brought to singleness and collectedness. So the same things, you see, but he said it differently. Now he is going to give the few simile again, another simile actually. Just as a man walking first might consider, why am I walking first? What if I walk slowly and he would walk slowly? Then he might consider, why am I walking slowly? What if I stand and he would stand? Then he might consider, why am I standing? What if I sit and he would sit? Then he might consider, why am I sitting? What if I lie down and he lie down? You see, by doing so, he would substitute for each grosser posture one that was subtler. So too, when a bhikkhu gives attention to stealing the thought formation of those thoughts, his mind becomes stirred internally, quiet, brought to singleness and collectedness. So that means when you feel the stillness, you have to pay attention to the stillness continuously. So that way you are in the jhana. And the distracting thought will not rise in your mind. And if you just drop from the stillness, then maybe an evil, unwholesome thought will arise in your mind. So that moment what you have to do, you have to think the wholesome, to develop the wholesome, right? So you are thinking unwholesome, then you have to think immediately the wholesome. So that way the distracting, all the evil, unwholesome thought will not rise in your mind. So you will be able to develop the wholesome. So the last sign, why I am not going to talk about? Because here, this is I think about the wrong translation, or maybe, about this sutta actually, in this sutta, there are two sutta is not correct actually. The one sutta is let's see, sutta number 20 and sutta number 24. Sutta number 20 and 24. These two suttas have little bit like 20, number 7, number 5, sign is the wrong translation. We were talking actually with my teacher and another senior monk, both of them passed away. So when I was at the Dhammasukha Meditation Center, so we were talking about this sutta, and then one senior monk, he is very highly educated. He is the Sri Lankan monk. His name is Dr. Punaji. So he said in the Pali, he didn't get, whatever they translated here, he didn't find that. So here explained, you see the number sign, number 5, with his teeth cleanse. Some people when they meditate, you see, right? This is serious practice, but if you practice that way, you see, with his teeth cleanse and his tongue pressed against the roof of his mouth, he should be down, constrained and cross mind with mind. So if you practice that way, what do you feel that? More hindrances will arise in your mind, right? Because this is serious practice, but this practice is open up your mind. So that way you cannot practice like this, right? So it said, with his teeth cleansed and his tongue pressed against the roof of his mind, he should be down, constrained and cross-minded with mind. So if you practice that, you will be the miserable one. A lot of hindrances will arise in your mind. And then you don't know how to abandon them. Right? So I'm not going to teach this one. I never. Because as I said at the beginning, when you practice meditations, you have to open up your mind. Right? So relaxing and open up the tension and tightness in your head, in whole body and mind, relaxing and smiling, keep your mind light, clear and natural. So that way, we are not practicing like this, right? So that's why I'm not going to teach this one. I never teach actually this one. And then, at the end of the sutta, this bhikkhu is then called a master of the courses of thoughts, who are skillful, who can do that. When the evil thought arises in their mind, immediately think the wholesome thought develop it continuously. So that way, the Blessed One said, the Buddha said, this bhikkhu is then called a master of the courses of thought. He will think whatever thought he wishes to think, and he will not think any thought that he does not wish to think. So he has severed craving, flung off the fetters, and with the complete penetrations of conceit, he has made an end of suffering. So that means you wisdom arose in your mind, you know this is the danger for me, so I am not going to pay attention there, so I have to develop the wholesome thought in my mind. By using the harmonious practice, if any hindrances arise, using the harmonious practice, keep a smiling, and develop the wholesome thought. So that way, with the complete penetration of conceit, all the wholesome thought abandoned, and he has made an end of suffering. So all the suffering you can overcome, you can abandon that. Right? So, that is what the Blessed One said, the bhikkhus was satisfied and delighted with the Blessed One words. So, today's sutta is very short, not so long. So that's what you have to do. You just think the wholesome things, even though you go back, because tonight is the last talk, So, you practice here 10 days. So, whatever you practice here, as I said at the beginning, don't waste your time. You come here for practicing meditation. So, before coming here, at least you got something, right? You have experience how to practice loving kindness meditation. And you have idea and experience about the sutta. So, one day one sutta, another day another sutta, another day another sutta. So the same talk I didn't give, right? Different sutta, different idea, different experience. So when after listening talk and when you meditate, you experience, you understood what is going on. Then when you have any questions, you ask me and I answer to all of you. So that way, you got something. So I want all the students who come here at least to attend the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana or fourth jhana. It's dependent on the people. Some people can attend first jhana, some people second jhana, some people third jhana, some people fourth jhana. It's like that. So if you practice at home, if you want to keep the 8 precepts at home, please keep it. No problem. Because keeping the 8 precepts not so difficult. You see, we keep the 227 rules forever, right? So if you're used to, very, very simple. As I gave yesterday one talk, the Kusambiya Sutta, right? So that Kusambiya Sutta Buddha said, "Oh monks, I take only one time meal, so you should take it, because if you take it single day, a single meal, so if you take it, you will be free from disease, different kinds of disease. You feel light, you feel clear, so you also should take one time meal." So the monks who are very hungry, maybe they can follow him. Because they are very hungry, right? So the monks who really respect the Buddha and they trust him, and they believe him, so they follow his advice, and then they took the one-time meal and then practice meditation. So we are getting a lot of diseases, because of the food, right? So when you eat more and more food, so then you'll see that a lot of diseases will rise in our body. So the reflection of the food, they mention why we are taking the food. All those things there, right? So because we are taking the food for maintaining our body, not for enjoying, for maintaining, for recovering the hungry, right? So that's why we are taking the food. So that's why you can keep the precept and you can meditate, you wake up early morning, especially early morning meditation is very good. Try to sit 1 hour every day. So if you practice every day at least 1 hour, then if you have you may get more experience. And if you have any questions, you can send email to me or you can call me. I'll try my best to help you. Alright? So I can guide you even though you are at home. No need to worry. You can send email, or you can call me, or you can text me, you know. So whenever I am free, I'll try my best to help you. Alright? So maybe when you go home, your parents may ask you, so how about your practice? What did you gain? But I don't think so they will understand if you share your experiences to others, because you may talk, but they will understand when they will see, you know, how about your development, and they may ask you, hey, what happened? You look different than before. Maybe they will understand something, you know. But where do you have attainment? Please don't share to others, because if you share, you may feel the proudness will arise in your mind. Then when you continuously practice, then a lot of disturbances will arise in your mind. Distraction will arise. Maybe it will be very tough, very difficult for you to get that stage again. So just keep secret, because this is your secret treasure. Keep in your mind, no need to share to others, because even if you share, they will not understand. They will say, what are you talking about? Because they have no idea about it. Right? So what you have to keep in your mind, and then try to practice your own, you know. So maybe if you have any questions, or try to listen to one talk from the YouTube one day, or maybe if you don't have time, or you can listen another day, and then you can practice continuously at home. Then you may get cessation. One day you may get the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. You already know that. And then I also explained how, when you meditate, when you have this fourth jhana, after that you will get the basic infinite space compassion meditation. And what will you feel? You'll get equanimity, mindful, and then if you know no body there, you feel like you're on the oceans, on the sky. Such experience will occur, and then tears will be falling down, you know. Then this is called compassion. And then when you practice the compassion meditation, the sixth direction, so from that stage your meditation will change the base of infinite consciousness. We call joy meditation. So that stage you'll see the link, one snap of the finger, 100,000 consciousness arising, passing away, rising, passing away, rising, passing away. You will see, you will experience, and when your mind is very sharp, you will see the link of the dependent originations. Okay? You'll see that, and then the uplifted joy will arise that moment. So that's why this is the joy meditation, you know. And so that stage you have to practice the joy in sixth direction, joy, the sixth direction, the joy meditation. And from that stage your meditation will change automatically the base of nothingness. You will not see anything, nothing. Okay? So just watching your mind. Okay? That's why he said the base of infinite, the base of nothingness. So that is what you call equanimity, upekka. So that stage you will gain strong insight. Your vipassana is strong insight. You instead of very strong. That stage. So from there you will be step by step. You will be another stage that one called the basically the perception nor non-perception. We call that. And from there you will see the perception, feeling, and consciousness stop rising, and then the huge joy will rise in your mind. So that times you will be the path of instrument. The cessation, one cessation will occur, then the path of instrument when you just sit down watching again, if your mind is unbalanced, just then somebody expects right for then second cessation will occur. Then you will get the base, the fruition of instrument. Step by step you will continue. Okay? So this is the way. So this all process you already know. You just have to practice at home continuously. Then you will get a step by step. Don't get too hard. Okay? Don't be lightweight too soon. So it will come naturally. You cannot push. The more you push, the more hindrances will arise. You will be the miserable one. You will suffer a lot. Alright? Do you have any question?
What are the links of dependent origination?
So the dependent origination Sutta I didn't here explain. So you can find from the Google. You see, this sutta actually, there is the connected discourses. We call ignorance as condition, formation comes to be. And formation as condition, consciousness comes to be. So it's like that. One depends on another, one depends on another, one depends on another. Okay?
Alright.
So that's what I didn't talk here. I didn't give because that one is too deep. So you can take a look at it from the Google, So if you have this book, or if when you come here on Friday, maybe one day I will talk about. Because your home is not so far, only 50 minutes. It's very close, so you can come here every Friday. But coming Friday, I'm not taking the meditation because I have to go out. So maybe the next Friday, I will take it continuously from next Friday. So I'll take your phone number and I'll text you. I should text to everyone. So Thursday night, I sent a text message to everyone. So those people who are free, they come here to meditate. And people who are not free, they don't come. So if you're free, you can come, you can join. And then people who are not free, maybe they are not coming, it's okay. So the dependent origination, let me check here. There are many sutta, but I want to just give you some basic idea. Still, dependent origin, the greater discourse of lion. Mahavidala Sutta something here. There is one Chanki Mokalala. So when you see Mahavidala, this is explanation of the element. I couldn't find here actually. The connected discourses have it, and here also have. Okay, honey ball, I think honey ball. Yeah, Mahadwadika Sutta. Okay, the Sutta number 39. Sutta number 39, I think. Mahavidala, yes. The many kinds of feeling. Here, you see? 502. 502. So let me see it in here. 502, then you see. This is not dependent origination. Yeah, as I said, dependent origination is ignorance ignorance as conditions, formations comes to be. Avijja passaya sankara, we say in Pali. Ignorance as conditions, avijja passaya sankara, formation comes to be. Sankara passaya vijnana. So because of formation, avijja passaya sankara, sankara passaya vijnana, consciousness comes to be. Okay, and vijnana passaya nama rupa. That means because of the consciousness, name and form comes to be. Okay? And namarupa passaya salayata. Because of name and form, 6 sense basis comes to be. And salayatana passaya passo. Because of 6 sense basis, passo, contact come to be. Okay? And salaya passo passaya vedana. Because of contact and feelings comes to be. Okay? So feeling, vedana. Vedana passaya tanha. Tanha means because of the feeling, craving comes to be. Tanha passaya upadana. Because of the craving, clinginess comes to be. Upadana passaya, then next one. Okay? There are 12 links, 12 kinds of dependent origination. So there are the link, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12. So this one we call the link of dependent origination. One depend to another, another one depend to another, another one depend to. Because of this, another one arises. Because of that, another one arises. Because of that, another one arises. So if ignorance not arise, formation will not arise. If formation will not arise, consciousness will not arise. If consciousness will not arise, then name and form will not arise. If name and form will not arise, then 6 sense basis will not arise. So that way, you will be free from suffering. This is called dependent origination. Okay, just a short. But you got summary. You can take a look at it from the Google, or from, if you just order these books from Amazon or Connected Discourse, you may get it. Any more question? No. Okay, so we can share about it together now. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fearless take fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, sharing this merit of ours. May the Lord protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu.